Hey you guys, happy Monday. It's Mona. Welcome back to my channel. Um, I had a couple people reach out to me on Instagram asking, because I had mentioned here before that I started my journey, this final journey, um, in 2014, and that I had lost a significant amount of weight and never really talked about what I've done or what my journey was up until this point. I've just been talking about the struggles that I've had um, this year. And I can't believe that at the end of this week, it's going to be October already. Like, seriously, I don't know where the time went. Um, I was sitting down yesterday and doing my planner, my everyday planner, and I just can't believe it. Like, I just can't believe it. But, so I thought I would talk about that and just share with you guys how it all began. So, I first walked into a Weight Watcher meeting January 3rd of 2003 and did really well. Super well. And September of 2003, I went on vacation to visit my mom. She lived in Florida at the time. And when I came back from vacation, it was like my body and mind had forgotten what Weight Watchers was. Like, it had never heard of it before. I still went to the meetings and I still paid my money, and slowly the weight just kept coming back on. And so essentially I was paying Weight Watchers to gain weight. I didn't really learn anything. I was looking to lose the weight for that vacation. I did it. And then that was it. Like, I never learned it. It didn't become a lifestyle habit for me. It was all about the numbers and how much food I could fit into my day for that amount of numbers. And I was young. Gosh. Marissa was 4. She's going to be 18. Yeah. So 14 years ago. And you know what? At that point, I was also a newly single parent. I had never really had my party stage that normal people do. I had Marissa when I was 23. And that came about me probably during that time span. I would say like the beginning of summer in 2003 was when that party stage hit me. And alcohol is a lot of points, and alcohol is a lot of empty points. But I had manipulated the system where I was still in my points, and I was always complaining because I'm hitting my points, but I'm not understanding why I'm not losing weight. I didn't learn anything. So I had quit going. And over the years, up until 2014, so during those 11 years, I came and went with Weight Watchers. Came and went. I was like a frequent flyer. And eventually, I ran out of meeting locations because there's only so many in every area. So I had hit the areas that I lived in, I hit the areas that I worked in, and I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed to keep going back, and every time I went back, I was either the same weight or a few pounds more. And it's embarrassing when the same people see you year after year after year after year. And in 2014, okay, let me rewind just a little bit. So I got married in 2008. I don't know, I had found like a few different blogs that I was looking like for weekly menu plans because I was sick and tired of eating the same crap every day. We were processed food junkies because coming from the box was easiest. It was easiest and it was the quickest. And I mean, our family ate Hamburger Helper maybe once or twice a week. Yes, I paired it with a salad, but it was still Hamburger Helper. And I never cooked anything from scratch unless it was like a weekend. And even then I took shortcuts. So it was only semi-homemade. And I started reading this blog called heavenlyhomemakers.com. And the girl that writes on that blog, her name is Laura. And I'm going to chop her last name. It's like Copinger. Maybe that is how you say it. Copinger. However, but I was reading through her blog and I found she had a tab that said start here, and it was about her Pepsi addiction. And I was not addicted to soda so much as I was the carbonation. But hey, soda tasted good. So soda and carbonation, I was okay. So she was talking about all these health issues that she had had from soda. And I started researching things based on her book recommendation of Nourishing Traditions. So I had just gotten a new Kindle, my first ever Kindle my parents bought me, and I downloaded that book. I bought the book and I downloaded it, and I had started reading it, and I cannot tell you how many times I stood up at night. And at one point I was even crying because I had noticed, like, I was feeding my kid unhealthy food. And I'm not just talking about like from the box, but certain meat products, certain vegetables that I was serving, and not reading the labels on certain things, not knowing what the ingredients were. And I decided at that point in time, I was cleaning it up. And I had started slowly. So our first move was to get rid of the country crocker, the I can't believe it's not butter, any kind of those butter spreads or margarine, they were out. Less is more, right? So the less ingredients, the better. And since then, I've only been using real butter. 3 ingredients: milk, cream, salt. That's it. Then I had started, my daughter had some gastro issues, and they put her on a gluten-free diet. And back then, she went through celiac testing. We come to find out that I do carry the celiac gene, and it runs in the family, and my cousin has celiacs. And this happened like several years after they had thought Marissa was celiac. So come to find out that the blood test that she had was only like 20% accurate. They really needed to go in to do an upper endoscopy and do a biopsy to find out if she truly is celiac. And they never did that. We found all that out from all of my cousin's testing, because all of his blood results came back negative. The biopsy showed positive for celiac. So I had gone through that, and I'm not celiac, but I definitely have a gluten intolerance. So during that time, so probably around 2011, 2012, I started eating 80-20 gluten-free. And majority of the food is gluten-free. You just have to watch your breads, your pastas, your baked goods, things like that. And man, kudos to Aldi's for having all this stuff at a reasonable price and wonderful tasting. I mean, you're not missing out on anything. So in 2014, I was already, I would say at this point, 90-10 gluten-free. But I didn't give up certain things. Like, there was certain processed foods I wasn't giving up. There was soda I wasn't giving up. And I would say I was lenient on the weekends when it came to gluten-free. Yeah, I would say I was pretty lenient. So on the weekends, I was maybe 50-50. And that 4th of July, we took our friends, Mike and Carrie Harling, who also does YouTube and blogs over at Dispatches from the Frat House. So if you're a planner girl, go check her out. Um, we were going out on the boat that 4th of July, and I had put on my bathing suit, and I had like this really long, like those maxi dresses that I had put over it that I didn't care if it got wet or ruined. I just didn't care. It was really comfortable. And I had caught a glimpse in the mirror as I was walking by, and I was like literally like could not believe that that was me in the mirror. I never saw myself as that big in the mirror, if that makes sense. I knew I had weight to lose, but I never saw myself as that big. Shortly thereafter, I had to go to the doctor for your womanly checkup. And on my chart, he had obese 2. And I sat in the car after that appointment, and I cried and I cried and I cried. And then I got angry with myself because I knew better than that. But I still found comfort in food. Like, food was one of those things that was always there, and our family celebrated with food. We mourned with food. Food was a thing. So, that being said, I had started going to Weight Watcher meetings. I started cleaning up even more our diet, and by this time I was eating 90% organic, chicken with no antibiotics, no growth hormones, milk with no growth hormones, no antibiotics. My meat was grass-fed. And then I started working on other things. Last year, in 2015, a wise man, Mike Harling, had once told me that it takes 26 seconds for anything that you put on your skin to enter your bloodstream. So I was a Bath and Body Works junkie, and I stopped. I stopped using Bath and Body Works. I switched all my skincare over to natural skincare, and I use coconut oil as moisturizer, sunflower oil as moisturizer. I use castor oil as a face wash mixed with sunflower oil. My makeup now is all natural, mineral based makeup, non-GMO. Like, everything is cleaned up. So during this time then, last year, I went to the woman doctor again, and he had found a lump in my breast and had immediately asked me what kind of deodorant I was using. And at that time I was using Secret. I've been using Secret for years, and he told me to stop immediately. Here's a wet wipe, wipe it off. The stuff that's in antiperspirant actually causes breast cancer. And since then, I was using baking soda until I could research something that was a little bit more not so messy, and found Primal Pit Paste. And that stuff works awesome, and it's coconut oil based, and there's no residue, no odor, no nothing, and nothing. So my mammogram came back clean. I had to go for an ultrasound to double check the mammogram, but everything was fine. So I'm due to go in again, and I have to make that appointment. Girls, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. If you catch it early, you can get it. But so after that, and then I realized, okay, the stuff you put on your body, your skin's your largest organ. The stuff you're putting in your body, like all of this combined makes for a better, healthy lifestyle. So I did count points, and I did go to Weight Watcher meetings, and I was generally always over my points because I ate a lot of avocado, I ate a lot of heart healthy nuts. I ate whole cheese because the reduced fat and the fat-free cheese, people, it's all chemicals. All of it. The ingredients on the back should have less than 3 or 4 ingredients, and the fat-free, it's like the ingredient list is like this. Okay. The creamers that I used, I only use half and half, or that almond milk creamer. And the weight just started falling off to a point to where I thought I was sick because it was coming off like so quickly. And to me, it was quickly. But when you look at the numbers in the big scheme of things, when I started 2016, I was down 41 pounds. So you're talking in a year and a half, I have lost 41 pounds, which really is not that much. It's like a couple pounds a month. But the inches started coming off. So I was pushing a tight size 24. And when I started this year in January, I was fitting into certain 16s. But definitely I could go into a store and pick up an 18 and know it would fit. I have not had that since before I had my daughter. So that was 1999 that I gave birth. Like, that's a long freaking time. So that's what I did. I didn't reinvent the wheel here. I watched my points. I did Weight Watchers, but I ate good, nutrient-dense food. I made sure that I was getting my healthy oils in the most natural way possible. I cut out all the reduced fat and the fat-free stuff and ate all natural food, the way food was intended to be eaten. That's not to say that we didn't go out and that we didn't eat from a box every now and then, or I didn't make semi-homemade meals. It just was not a regular thing. So you'd be surprised though, because people say that eating organic is really expensive. My grocery budget actually went down. It went down probably $50 a week. And I still baked, and I still would buy snacks for the family, but I wasn't making a regular habit out of it. So Smart Points should have been easy for me, right? And I think the whole thing with Smart Points is I was tripping over my own 2 feet. I was tripping over my own 2 feet because I got comfortable. And sometimes change is necessary, but I put my foot in the sand and I refuse to budge it. I mean, that is just what it is. So here I am. I'm now down 30.8 pounds, 30.2 pounds, something like that. And so in these 9 months, I've gained 11 pounds. And I would say majority of that happened over the summer. And I have not been as diligent about eating gluten-free. So I feel a lot of bloat coming back. I'm puffier than I normally am. Like last year, I was not this puffy. I have a lot of skin issues coming back. I don't know if you can see, like here. And I know I'm allergic to wheat, but they never told me not to eat it. They just told me not to like walk into a field of wheat. So, yeah. And that's my journey, you guys. And that's where I'm at now. So I'm kind of doing the same thing, counting my points and making good food choices. And I'm hoping that, you know, if I stay with it and I'm diligent enough, that I can succeed by this. But I have to say, you guys are the reason that I keep doing this. YouTube and Instagram, everybody is so motivating, inspirational, and you lift everybody up. I've never met a community like this. And I have to say, for somebody who frequented the Weight Watcher meetings, there wasn't this much support even in those meetings as there is here in this community on the social media. So I have to say thank you. Thank you for keeping me accountable. Thank you for the nice words. Thank you for all the support, and knowing that I'm not in it alone does help. And I'm sure it helps other people too when they hear what my struggles were. So this has not been an easy road. And in some way, I hate Weight Watchers because now I notice that my daughter is having some food issues, and that was the last thing that I ever wanted. Not anything big, but she's, set on a certain size pants and things like that. So it's just something that I have to monitor and watch out for so that she stays healthy. But in the same aspect, she's heard me talk about points virtually her whole life. And that is my fault. That's on me. So her seeing me have a healthier relationship with food now than I did before is huge. And her listening when I talk about healthy choices and things like that, like I know that I'm in her head, is a lot better than just hearing about points all the time. And I never say that I'm on a diet. I never say I'm on a diet. And I do call it a lifestyle change because now I think I've been doing this long enough that it is a lifestyle change. So that being said, friends, that was my journey. I hope somebody can relate to this and somebody else has been in this yo-yoing crap for damn near a whole lifetime. And it's embarrassing to say, and it's vulnerable. Being this transparent on social media is very vulnerable. But when you're putting yourself out there for something like this, you have to be. And this is what I committed to. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And I will check in with you later. Bye, guys.